So, this is a reading of Drab to Fab. You should have read the introduction with me. I'm going to read the text out loud to you, and you will then read it again and annotate it. All about Christopher Cruz. 11-year-old Christopher Cruz and his friends at New York's PS 123 in Brooklyn, New York decided that gray food plus their gray basement cafeteria was way too many grays. There wasn't much they could do about the food, so they decided to work on the cafeteria. Instead of gray, what about yellow with bright green stripes? First, they needed permission from their principal, so Christopher and his friends wrote her letters. Every day, wear nice clothes and you look beautiful with different hairstyles. Starts a letter by Daisy Robles and finishes with, I hope you give us permission to paint the lunchroom. One quote we have is, I hope you give us permission to paint the lunchroom. And Daisy Robles said that. Difficulties. And what do you know? The principal, Veronica Green, gave them permission to paint the cafeteria if they could get paint and supplies for free and find adult volunteers to help them. It was a tough task. 1 gallon of the kind of paint they needed cost about $50, and they were going to need many gallons, plus 20 rollers, brushes, tape, and tarps, and all other supplies you need. Just like they had written letters to their principal, Christopher Cruz and other students at PS 123 started writing letters to some home stores. They asked for donations and help, but most of the letters they wrote to businesses ended in a big no. Try and try again. They kept writing. Eventually, they convinced the paint company Benjamin Moore to donate paint, Sunny Yellow, to cover up the gray and bright green springtime for the strip of molding that ran along the wall at about eye level. Volunteers came from charity Public Color. Then, Yellow Pages donated $10,000 for other supplies. The only problem now was when to paint the walls. They couldn't use school time for it, and the lunchroom was in use after school. The only time available to Christopher and the growing team was on Saturdays. So every morning for 5 Saturdays in the fall of 2013, the kids met at school with their volunteers to paint. Conclusion. The kids aren't professional painters, and in the photos that go with the article by the New York Daily News, it's hard to tell what's got more paint, the students or the walls. Finally, just before winter break in December 2013, the project was finished. It had been almost a year since the students wrote their first letters to their principal. Instead of a wet sock, the lunchroom looked like limes and lemons. Their persistence paid off, and instead of drab, it was fab. Now, maybe they can do something about the food? Okay. Now that I have completed the reading, you are going to go back to your text and annotate it using the symbols that we learned today. After you are finished, complete the gist and answer the questions at the sections that they are present. Good luck.